Hey guys, in this video we're going to continue with the missile logic. Or missile launcher logic. So we're going to start making it where it holds 10 missiles at a time, and if it gets hit by an enemy missile, then it loses whatever's currently loaded and loads the next group. So let's go back to Unity, and we actually have a bug from the last one that we have to fix first. So if we play the game as is, you'll notice, I'll just let it play through. Okay, so instead of the round ending right away when the last missiles are gone, it does not, and it just sits here. Okay, so right here, yeah, so nothing happens and you're just kind of stuck. What's actually causing it is when we added the code to check the position of the missile and blow up at the target if the target's not there anymore, just at the position, we forgot to add this line of code to remove one from the missile counter. So this should fix all of that. We'll just try that quick. And now the round should still end fine. Okay, and let's see, one more. Okay, so now that's at least working. Next round should start. Everything's going. Okay, so we have that. So let's start working on this. So we have the missile launcher. We have the missile launcher script. So we'll load this, and you know what? I don't even think we're gonna need this. We should probably do it in there just for the sake of keeping everything separate, but for now I'm just going to do it in the game controller, and then if I decide to later I can refactor it and move it in there, or if anybody's following along with this they can do whichever way they want. But for now I just want to get the basic prototype up and working, so I'm just going to do it in here. So I'm just going to add a new variable. Okay, so we have player missiles left. I'm going to do, this can be private, we don't need it. We'll do current missiles loaded. And we'll start it as 0. And this is going to be the missiles loaded, you know what, current loaded in launcher. Really long name, but it's descriptive, and you can follow whatever standard you want. Normally I don't go with names this long, but I didn't really plan it out and think ahead of time what I should name them, so I just kind of went with it on the fly. So what we're going to do is, at the very beginning, we're going to do current missiles loaded in launcher equals 10, and then we will do, what was the name of that one? Player missiles left. We're going to subtract minus equals 10. Okay, so it removed them there. So as soon as we start the game, we should instantly have only 10 missiles, or sorry, 20 showing, because we moved 10 into the launcher. Okay, and what we're going to do, let's go through our code here quick. Where is our check? Oh, you know what? It's actually, we probably will need, doing it this way, we'll probably need to make this public, because we actually did it in our, I think it was our cursor target, yeah. So we did it in the cursor controller. So we need to change this to, oh, you know what, no, actually we can leave this the same, because it won't matter. As long as you have more than one missile left, you should be able to launch a missile. This code doesn't need to care if you have them in the launcher or not. So the only thing we're going to need to do there is, we have this, let's make a quick little UI component for that. So let's go to our canvas, zoom out to see it. Maybe we'll put it right at the bottom. Not a lot of room. We might have to move stuff around. So you know what? For now, we'll just put it on the side. It'll look a bit ugly, but we can pretty things up anytime down the road. So let's just duplicate this, move it down a bit. I'm going to call this missiles in launcher text. We'll put missiles in launcher. We'll just default it to 0. Okay, so we have that. Let's go in our game controller. We need to make another text. So I'm going to copy this one. We'll do, whoops. Do missiles left in launcher text. Okay, so let's go to our game controller. And we're going to drag this guy in here. Okay, so we have that. And we'll make a quick little method here. Update missiles in launcher text. Call it here missiles in launcher. So we'll do missiles in launcher. Let's just copy the name. Okay, so let's try this. That should update to 10 right on the start. Oh, wait, no, we forgot to call it as always. So let's throw this in start. Okay, so we got 10. We'll make it a little bigger so it looks decent. Okay, so we have that. We can update these methods later, so you know they include to update both at the same time, which will probably make more sense. But for now, it's more focused on make the game work than make nice, clean, efficient code. You definitely do want to focus on that, but for this one, I'm not going to worry about it too much. So we got update missiles left, update missiles in launcher. So let's add we're going to need it there because this is where we're going to actually do the work to subtract them soon. And let's see. Okay, so we don't need to update it there. What I'm going to do is just call it from in here for now. So anytime update missiles left is called, it's going to update the launcher as well, which is what we're going to want. So we'll just test it out quick, but that should work fine for now. It's kind of a little hack, but oh, that's not working. That should be working. Oh, you know what? For now, just so we don't waste time worrying about that on now and we can poke into it later, I'm just going to do it in update. And okay, so something is still wrong here. Get missiles in launch. Oh, of course. You know what? That's fine. So let's take that out. Let's add it back here, and we have to do where is our no, we can do it right in here. Okay, so that's removing one of the missiles. We'll do the same thing here. Dot missile. We made it private, didn't we? Oh no, current missiles loading and launcher is public, so we'll subtract one from there as well. Okay, so now it should update. Okay, so that's updating, but it won't keep track, so it goes negative. And the reason I'm leaving all this stuff in is just so you can kind of see the process of doing this, so you're not, you know, missing all the cuts. This is normal when you're making it. You have to, you know, debug your own code, figure out why things aren't working. A lot of times you forget to call a method, things like that. It's totally normal, so I don't see a point in cutting it. Unless it gets really bad, then I'll make an edit, but just general troubleshooting is good and normal. So let's go back to our game controller, and what we're going to want to do here is when the missile launcher gets hit, we remove 10. We're actually going to want to do we will do player missiles left minus equals current missiles loaded in launcher, so it takes those away. And then right after that, we'll do current missiles loaded in launcher. You know what, we'll have to do an if first. If player missiles left is greater than or equal to 10, then we'll do current missiles loaded in launcher equals 10. And then else, and when we do this, we have to subtract them. So let's do player missiles left minus equals 10. And then here we will do, so if there's not 10 left, we'll do current missiles loaded in launcher equals player missiles left, and then player missiles left equals 0. So basically if there's under 10, take however many are left in there and add them to the launcher. So this is when it's hit. We also do have to do when you empty the missile launcher, but you know what, let's test this quick. Okay, so we have to fix it so it's not subtracting the missiles on a regular fire. So if we go back to our cursor controller, we should be able to just remove this. Okay, so now we're firing these. It's not going to roll over yet, but let's let it get hit a few times and we should see it drop. So the first time it should lose all 7 and then go back into 10, and missiles left should go to 10. Okay, so that did not work. We lost too many there. I'm just going to try that again to see what was happening. Okay, now I'm going to try it not firing any first, so this should go back to 10, but this should drop to 10. Okay, it got hit twice, so that kind of... Let's try to let it only get hit once. Okay, so this guy is coming in, so let's get rid of others. Okay, so it went down to 3, so we're losing too many. So this part here is going to be okay though. So it's going to be something in our game controller. So if the missile launcher is hit, the player missiles left is going to be equal to what's... Oh, no, we don't want to actually remove this. That's why it's kind of doubling. Okay, so if player missiles is greater than 10, we put 10 in the launcher. Then at the end, we will have to do current missiles loaded in the launcher. Yeah, I think that's actually fine. Okay, so I'm just going to fire a couple off. Okay, so that looks good. We lost 7, but we went... Okay, so we just have to factor in just seeing where our best point to do when we fire the missiles. So if we're firing them in here, we remove one of the current missiles in the launcher. We don't really have a method for that yet. Yeah, so we're going to have to make something here that when the player missile, or sorry, the enemy missile comes in, we remove one from the launcher. So that part is good. We may want to make this into a method on the game controller. Yeah, you know what? Let's... Okay, so we're going to do this. We'll make public void player fired missile. Okay, and then on here, so we'll leave the instantiate, but this part we're going to cut out. We're going to do myGameController.player fired missile. And then in here, okay, so we're going to subtract 1 from there, update the missiles text. And this is kind of a better idea because then we're separating that code out of other classes. So this updates that. But what we're going to want to do is, before we do it, let's do a check. So if current missiles loaded in launcher is greater than 0, then we remove 1 from the launcher. And then after that's done, we're going to do another check here, not an else if, but an actual if, because we always want this one checked. We're going to do if current missiles in launcher equals 0. We will do, we can pretty much take this code, I think. Yeah, I think we can actually take this, let's see. I think we can put this right in here. So we'll check if the current missiles in the launcher is 0, then we want to check how many missiles the player has left. And we can load those in, then we update the text. So let's try this. I think this should actually work. So if we fire. Okay, so something's just blocking us when we have 0 missiles left, but we still have 10 in the launcher, so we're getting very close. So now what we need to do, yeah, so this is checking this. So what we'll do is, let's just change this to current missiles loaded in the launcher is greater than 0, and this should work. Down to 10, down there. Okay, and stop. So we're out of missiles. Now you're stuck. You have to let the round finish and hope for the best. Okay, so that's very close. So That video was a bit longer than expected, and there was a lot of kind of downtime and dead air in there trying to figure out what's going on, but I think I'll leave that. And I mean, if it gets more common, then I'll start cutting it out, but I think just showing it will help in the general idea of making a game like that, because I don't know, the more advanced you get, it's probably less likely to happen, but I think that's always going to happen, where you kind of get stuck in a little rut like that, trying to plan out and figure out what to do next. Okay, we will continue in the next video.